to Fresh to Death Podcast. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amy. And
no, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, and I'm Brian.
There you go. And this is Fresh to Death Comics, the podcast where we talk about everything from pop culture, movies, comics even. Who thought? And today we are talking about both comics and TV. Yes, it's our long-awaited episode 2 about the beauty.
Which will be the last part. We're going to finish all of it up. So if you don't know what the beauty is, take a look at the episode. Is Marco Rubio on the beauty? And that's going to be part 1. And this is going to be part 2 because we're going to finish it up. We're going to kick it off from where we left off. Because, Amy, I'm going to let you take that.
Oh, yeah.
Where did we leave off? Because I got angry.
We got angry. So the last time we talked was episode 1 through 4. Today we're going to talk about 5 through the finale, just if you're split up on episodes. So the last time we checked in on the beauty, Jordan had just run off with that other dude and got herself infected. So we start out with episode 5 with this young lady saying that she's Jordan, knocking on Cooper's door, being like, it's me. And she's like 20 years younger.
And she's completely different. Like, the transformations are completely like DNA. They change. And I don't know if you opened the door and was like, hey, I'm Amy. And I'm like, no, you're not Amy. Like, it's ever since that motion, ever since that happened in the show, has made me think what makes you you. Yeah. So as we go in, I want you guys to think what I was thinking as we go on. Like, what makes you you? And like, does your personality, does your beauties, does your face, does it matter who you are?
Yeah, because I think,
like I said, as we go on, we'll probably discuss this, but it's just something to think about. Start out with Cooper finding Jordan.
Yeah, and she just shows up after her running off with another guy and getting boned, like, and she knew this was a thing. Like, they were investigating this disease that was being spread somehow. And she's like, you know what? I need some poon. Like, just, if you're investigating an STD, wouldn't you want to not do the thing that gets you an STD?
I would think that. But also, I wouldn't think that, like, on a case, she would be so, like, flippant and being like, hi, I'm just going to talk to everybody. Like, yeah. You're a cop. Isn't everybody
everyone's a suspect?
A suspect? You shouldn't be making friendly with the locals.
But everyone is also potentially a shag.
And that's what this show is.
Yes. So we got that resolution. She did the thing that we actually talked about all the time, which is like, if this ever happens, you get your body changed. You're suddenly a cat that can talk or whatever. Hocus pocus. You can prove who you are by answering some questions. So he was like, well, where were we when this and this happened?
No, we're not telling anybody these questions because no one should know the basis of your questioning. They can't know that, like, hey, what lake did we, like, hey, one of our questions is, what lake did we propose on?
Yeah, no.
You got it, like.
That only you two would know. Yeah,
so you can't be something that you've done hypotheticals with. You guys, it's something only you guys know.
Yes. So, which is, again, has come up many times in television. I would say it's now a trope. But this is something that we've now discussed. This was like one of an early bird thing that we did was like, all right, if we ever get body switched or whatever, how are we going to know it's really the other person? So that's also a sign of a successful relationship, is if you have this as a backup plan. That's what I'm going to say. But that's not the only interesting thing that came out of this episode. We finally got some information about who the fuck Ashton Kutcher is playing.
It took forever to get there.
It took 5 episodes.
Were we supposed to know it was who it was, or wait till the reveal?
I think we were supposed to. We knew that something was going on because there was a scene in one of the earlier episodes where Isabella Rossellini says to Kutcher, I just got a call from one of the boys, our sons, our children. So obviously they've had children together, don't know how. But one of their kids had relapsed and is now in a hospital bed and is just calling him an asshole and blah, 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 blah. But we're like, we know that they have children together, but like how? Like,
correct. It was always
and Ashton Kutcher is a little older. So that also got me thinking about like what the age limitations are, or if there's like hard and fast rules when it comes to this beauty. STD?
Yup. This STD has a mind of its own. So you keep it going because I'm going to derail you.
Oh, you're fine. So I think we weren't really supposed to know, but we got some pre-beauty reveals. And guess who was playing previous pre-beauty? Byron Frost, we found out his name. Kingpin himself, Vincent D'Onofrio. Surprise Vincent D'Onofrio at this one.
Which, once it's revealed, like, that's who his old self was, I went back and watched those episodes. I can't tell that it was, like, he was doing the accent, but once they do the reveal, all of a sudden, Ashton Kutcher suddenly changes his voice.
He's a little more like
him.
New York guy that gets things done.
Yeah, all of a sudden he just changes as a character, and it just really bothered me.
I would agree with you on that. It just kind of was like, oh, this is the episode. Now everyone knows that I have this accent now. Hey, you guys. Like, it just didn't, I was like, ooh, okay, we're doing that.
Like, I know I said before, like, there's something weird with his voice, but, like, what is this?
Yeah.
And even watching it back, knowing what I know, knowing that's the Kingpin, I still can't tell. I was like, I feel like this was a decision made, and they got, like, half the episodes done. It was like, yo, we need somebody to play him. Vincent signed on. Cool. You got to do Vincent.
Yeah,
like,
from this episode on, Ashton, you need to do some weird accent. He should have been doing it the whole time. Anyways, I was finally thrilled to get more backstory about Byron Forst, who is apparently this billionaire, one of the richest people in the world. He gets summoned by Ray, the creator of the beauty, and a bunch of other his millionaire friends. Helicopter him into a location because he's extra like that. And gathers all these billionaires for an emergency investment meeting. Peter Gallagher's also there. Wonderful cameo by him. I really enjoyed him. But Ray, the scientist, reveals what the beauty is, that it's had to be based on sexually transmitted disease to help its effectiveness and its change. Everybody's like, bullshit. I don't believe these before and after photos. And he's like, I got a way to change your mind. I brought 5 doses. We're all going to do it. And they bring him into like this yurt with like all these hallways of rooms. Administers the beauty to everyone. Everybody goes through the god-awful mushy change where they're covered in pods and just like escaping as sacks. The change happens and everyone is hot. Peter Gallagher that came in walking with a cane is hot. The older lady who was like 88 is now 35. Everyone's hot. And Ashton Kutcher shows up and he's like, yes, I am Vincent D'Onofrio now. I am Byron Forst. This worked really well. Only I can know about this. And as we have seen with this show, this is not the first time Byron Forst has just demanded that people get mowed down. So, as we know, he is kind of a bastard. What a backstory.
I really like the gun scenes. He was pew, 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 pew. That was great. But the moment he is covered in goo, we do get to see his butt. That was cool.
Should have shown his balls.
Well, he hops and
he does a giant leap up in the air, and I'm like,
I know that was the first thing you said. You're like, that's fake. I don't see a ball.
I don't see no balls.
I was like, do you see that? Like, is that something like girls are watching?
I look for it.
Didn't know that was a thing. Discovered that. So
yes.
So
Byron's just like massacred everybody after walking naked. But he goes, kidnaps Ray, and is basically like leaving him at gunpoint, like, you're gonna do this. And Ray's like, please don't kill me. He's like, you need me. There's still some things to keep an eye out over this. So you're gonna want to keep me if things go awry, which thank God he does, because they find out that he needs boosters to maintain this over a period of time. So in one of the episodes, and I really like that this is something that they've kind of taken in this arc at this time in the show, is we're getting more other characters. So we're now in this next episode, we're talking about the characters that have the lab techs that have helped create the beauties, and we meet Mike and Clara. This is super interesting, and I think this added a nice level. Because I don't remember. You said that you read the comics a little bit. I'm guessing since trans issues has become more of a predominant issue through the years, there may or may not have been a trans character. Do you remember off the top of your head?
This is a question we will discuss after the episodes.
Stay tuned. But Clara is a male to female transgender individual who is going through gender affirming care. And she's talking about how, she's not fully transitioned. She can still feel certain things that shouldn't be there. She doesn't have the certain parts. She's also going through hormones, and the hormones are really messing with her, and she doesn't feel feminine. And, I really like this deep dive into this character who does just want to be beautiful, that does just want to be accepted.
Also, she cries a lot about being bullied. Like, it really does bother her when people misgender her.
And she's like, that's the 4th time today. And like, that just is something that I know that there's like these microaggressions, but like the microaggressions add up when it's so much over time. I really understand. Like, I feel like I understand very much where she's coming from.
There's a certain point where you snap. Like, how many times, like, what does she have to do? Like, if she gets dressed up all the way, you're being called a sir, I feel like would even hurt even more.
Yeah.
Like, I purposely dressed up so you would call me a female, and you're still calling.
Yeah, it just goes to show. And I think that this is also really on theme. I loved this story so much. It's just, when is anything enough? When is being beautiful enough? When is that okay? When is it okay to stop and be okay with yourself? Because I think that's the other thing, is that, with the beauty, people try to make the best possible versions of themselves. But, like, comparison's still going to happen. Are they still going to be beautiful now that everybody's beautiful? Or is this something that now beauty is, we know beauty is a construct, but now are we going to separate people and do even more beautiful? Or are we going to go like, oh, they were naturally beautiful or not naturally beautiful?
I would say I had those questions too, but it wasn't until what happened later on with the transformation.
Yeah.
That really shook me up and made me go, what?
I know what you're talking about.
I know. We're not there yet.
We're not
so
there
I'm
yet.
not gonna...
Let me give Clara her due. Clara is due. So Mike and Clara, Mike is his pod mate. Mike is Clara's pod mate in their little lab group because they divided everything up so much that nobody really knows what they're talking about.
It's like they're in a factory.
They're in a factory. It's just like a medical factory.
Except it, like, I guess that's how factories work, but like like when she started to cry and she wiped her, they were like, "You are now a minute behind schedule.
Yeah.
Work faster." And
yeah, there was some real like,
she was crying. Give her a break.
Yeah, like she's literally going through hormone therapies. Like, give girl a minute.
like they had like a way station for everything they had fixed, or I forgot what they were doing, but it looked like
it looked like it needed.
Crazy to me. We were in that era, and like it's happening now.
Yeah, it's happening now. Mike, being a good friend, also a little selfish, but understandable given everybody's stories, steals 2 doses of the beauty, and they have this whole conversation that I never thought of before that I thought was super fascinating. He was like, "Clara, what is this gonna do? Is it gonna make you more beautiful as a woman, or is it gonna make you more beautiful as a man?" And she was like, "I don't care. At this point, I would just do anything to make myself feel better." And that like really got to me, that she was literally about to say, "I don't care if I die. Like, I just want to be accepted and be seen as who I feel that I truly am." And like, it got to me. So Mike administers the dose to him and Clara. They wake up. He's hot. Who would have guessed? So immediately we're all like, "Oh, right. What about Clara? What the fuck's going on with Clara?" Because I'm freaking out. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to be so pissed if they did her dirty. Don't do the trans characters dirty."
Funny, because we did get, like, I feel some lingering on him for, like, oh, and he's like, and you're like, "All right, enough. Go. And he's
Yep.
like, "Oh, man.
Like, I get it. You're hot. Whatever."
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you're like, camera. So we finally slow zoom.
I know. Finally slow zoom. And we hear a very feminized voice. It's Clara. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And it's like, I was like, oh, maybe this could be a good thing. This could be a positive thing. And then we get into the episode that came right after that.
Because I was on board. I was like, man.
Maybe this could be used for good.
Yeah, like, you know, if with boosters and stuff, it would help people. I mean, that's got it. How often do we hear about plastic surgery that goes wrong and people blow up and...
Or, like, die on the table.
Yeah, so, like, what's the difference between plastic surgery and an STD?
Not much. Honestly, I mean, with this, it's about the same risk factor.
I mean, other than I can't spit at you if I had it.
That's true. But, so, with the ethics of the beauty, we go into this next episode, and honestly, I think this one was also one of my favorite ones, because I really love this story too. We see this family that is dealing with hospital bills. They're in and out of hospitals. Their daughter has progeria, which is a disease that causes your body to quickly age. So she's 13, and they said she has the heart of like a 90-year-old. So realistically, in the next few years, like, their child's going to die. And here comes Ashton Kutcher, like the white knight that he's pretending to be, not just the self-serving asshole, apparently. And it's like, "Hey, I heard about Joey's, her condition. Don't you want her to live a more fulfilling life? I have this new product. It's fully cleared, not at all, by the FDA." And again, this just goes to show how much you can get away with if you have enough money. We just grease the palms of the FDA entirely. People didn't blow up. It's fine.
Isn't what you
It's
say.
a Democratic hoax blowing up.
Well, their reasoning was they blew up because of it was done sexually.
Yes.
And because it's done sexually, it has mutated differently, and that's what's causing people to blow up. If you get the proper needle
injection,
and,
the whole pharmaceutical,
boosters, the proper way, I guess.
Yeah. The forced way, because that's also why we have characters like the assassin, which we find out more about him. His name is Antonio. He got injured in an acid attack. Byron Force came in and was like, I'm so sorry that presumably Mark Zuckerberg didn't really care and just gave you no future. Here, let me give you this miracle drug. If you like it, come work for me. Makes a total recovery except for one funky eye, which this man had like severe acid burns all over his body and had just come out of it with like a cool looking eye patch. Anthony Ramos, he pulled that thing off.
But I don't understand it because their whole DNA gets rewritten. If that's the case, then how come that didn't happen with any of the other people with Well, I guess Ashton Kutcher did get the extra nip.
He did get his extra nip.
His nipple.
So they are using like a basis of your DNA off of this.
I don't know. I just don't know why it was just the eye. Because I feel like the eyes are the most beautiful part of you. Why didn't that burn go to like his foot or something?
Right.
Like, why didn't it morph into his armpit area or...
Yeah, like
it just didn't make sense for the eye, except that it looked cool for the screen.
Yeah, I think it did. And that was the only...
So, it was... I call bullshit on that.
So, yeah, we got a lot of backstory about Antonio / the assassin. That's how he became to work for Byron Forrest. Him and Jeremy, his little young protege, are going around pew-pewing people, taking down people in the streets, cleaning up, and what you said about anybody who has the sexually transmitted version of the beauty, that's been his job to eliminate these individuals so that they can get the most profits. Sound like anything?
Yeah, they're making sure that the easy way doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Which almost makes me think maybe that's why they do explode. It's part of a...
like a scare tactic?
A safety net. Like, hey, it will be... if it's not done with the needle, with this percentage in there, it causes this reaction. So maybe they already know, but they just don't want to say anything. But needless to say... it was kind of cool, except when it came to all of a sudden they're taking out characters that we recognize.
Yep.
Then I was not okay with what he was doing.
Yes, like learning that learning that it was Mike from the last episode of Mike and Clara was actually the guy that Anthony Ramos shot in the head when he was walking through the streets of Italy. Like, that was Mike, and he was trying to hunt everyone down. So, presumably, I would assume he would have already hunted down Clara as well.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I don't want that to be true, but... so, we've talked about the sexually transmitted part and the mutations of the beauty. And how apparently they are more... the pharmaceutical version of the beauty is the safer way, but it's also really expensive. So people were doing the backdoor version where you would just pay somebody who had the beauty happen to them, and then you get it at a much cheaper cost.
It reminded me of backdoor abortions.
It kind of did.
Like
Or
all
like,
these people being like, "Yo, I got the beauty. If you want the beauty, like it's many, many dollars. It's almost like prostitution."
yeah, I was thinking it was very, I mean, they are having sex for money, but for a specific goal.
Yeah, I
So
would.
what do you call that?
Yeah, it.
Prostitution Plus, available on streaming.
It's instead of the pop-ups about like this girl is 10 minutes away from
I
you.
know.
This person has the beauty.
10 minutes away from you.
That's the new pop-ups.
I
Like,
know.
do you want to look beautiful? You can fuck me tonight.
Look how gorgeous I am. So, as the series has been going on, just to recap, Jordan has been infected and changed by the beauty. She is now, everybody who has gotten it sexually transmitted is like essentially getting hunted down. That is the point of this assassin character, Antonio. So Jordan is on this list. They're already aware that this investigation is ongoing because the girl with progeria, her father was the head of the FBI in the investigation. What? A government official was bribed with a miracle drug and everyone is beautiful and his daughter is alive and doesn't have progeria anymore?
But like, it brings about a question of, does this guy have the beauty? Like, was he perfect the whole time? Like, I didn't really check for blemishes when they were talking, but they were always talking in the dark. And I'm just like, did you have the beauty the whole time? Like, I think you would be able to tell if someone had the beauty and not.
Yeah.
Because you would be able to see how perfect they were. Like, when you see incredibly gorgeous people, like, you can tell. You're like, whoa.
So that's why Forrest went in to get this progeria so that he could grease his own palms to get the FDA and get this investigation tampered down. Assassin and everybody is now teaming up. Everybody had gotten caught because they were exposed. And we learned that Byron had a previous project going with Diana Sterling, who she was all about like AI and robotics and like, this is the next thing and this is a bad idea. But the contract that she got in with him, everything that she created under his company was now owned by him. So all of her ideas, all of her work that she got fucked over hard. So she was just going to have to start from scratch, start anew. And she was like, no, fuck this, which I loved. So she was like, I'm going to pick all you guys up. I'm going to take you out of this dumbass quarantine and I'm going to rescue you. And now we're going to meet in a lecture hall, which is what it looks like.
They went to school.
They went to school and they had to learn. And they're going to come up with this big plan to kill Byron Forrest. But how are we going to kill him? I don't know.
He knows what everybody looks like.
He knows what everybody looks like, except Cooper, Evan Peters. So Evan Peters is like, all right, I don't want to do this, but if this is the only way to do it, then I'll take the beauty. So Cooper's going to change. And this whole time, him and Jordan have been, thinging. Obviously, they've been fucking around previously, but have not since she changed and was...
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere near her after that.
Well, because rightfully so. She had an STD.
And then he's like, all right, fine. For the benefit of all, I'm going to do it. And then he doesn't.
And he's like, I'm not going to take the injection. I'm going to have sex with Jordan. Which, like, if roles are reversed, or in the same case, you have to change, but I am already infected. Would you rather have a shot with a needle, or would you rather have sex with me?
I would do whatever you do, so that way, if we find a cure, we can find it for both of us.
See, that's the right way.
But let's continue because this is where I'm gonna get mad. Keep going.
So they have sex, go out to wine. They have
Weren't
wine.
even married.
That's your big gripe with the show. They weren't married and they had premarital sex.
And they didn't use a condom.
This is why you should buy the beauty condoms. They have sex. And we're like, all right, what's this going to do? He's in the egg sack. He's done the change thing. What's he going to look like?
Because Evan Peters is already hot.
I think Evan Peters is already very attractive. So I'm like, how much hotter could he be?
Like, I thought when we were going to get some kind of scar, or maybe they were going to, like, do something with his chin to give him some kind of weird deformity. Because I was like, he already looks good. What are we going to add?
That was my thought as well. And what emerged from the cocoon is like a 12-year-old boy.
And Jeffrey Epstein said, yes, yes, yes.
EF000.
Why the fuck is this? Why is he a young boy? Like, this is clearly stating, like, boys, when they are...
If they take the beauty, they can stay young forever. It felt a little like... Ugh.
It was predatory. It felt weird that we were saying it's okay if you were underage because this is fun. Because I don't know. It just made it sound like everything, like, oh, yeah, this should be normal. Like, he was a boy. Like, boys at that age are adults. They're ready. They can procreate.
Yeah, no.
I mean, my great grandmother got married at 10 years old. This is the future. Like, it's gonna come out. Like, Epstein was right the whole time. And actually, the age of consent is just a number. And that's what this felt like. And that's where I don't like this. Because why is he so young?
Or was it purposely to make you uncomfortable? Because, I feel like it definitely added urgency to the show that it kind of needed. That, we can't track this disease as expected because there's always mutations.
Yeah, but, a mutation... Oh, yeah.
To the public.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because he wakes up the next morning and then he goes there because he's a kid. And he's like, I'm going to stop you.
All right, we're going to do this. And he's going to go in and assassinate him, a 12-year-old with a gun.
So they walk in and then basically it gets released to the world anyway.
Yeah, so, they sped up the push and now it's commercially available.
So he never had to get the disease. Yeah. Their whole plan was stupid.
Yeah,
it made me mad. But now that it's been released publicly,
yeah, now it's being offered at all these wellness clinics, and there's one instance where we see these friends, Ella and Ruthie. They are going to private school together. Ruthie just got a nose job that does not look at all like anything that was supposed to be. So she goes home and she's crying to her parents. And then over the weekend, Monday comes, Ruthie comes into school and she's blonde and 1.5 feet taller than she was. Because guess what? Her parents, her rich parents, shelled out $20,000 to have her, again, thrown into a yurt. And the theme of the beauty is yurts. That's the name of the episode. And have this whole guided experience. And she tells her friend, who's like, I know your parents aren't rich, but there's other ways. And gives the phone number of somebody who has had the beauty. She ends up meeting with this guy. And he's like, yes, I had the shot. I actually snuck in and got a double dosage just in case. I wanted to make sure I was potent. I can hook you up. I can give you the beauty. And she's like, okay.
Which really bothers me because she was underage.
Yes. And even more upsetting was that she was a virgin, so this would be her first time, which, like, she technically paid to have sex for the first time.
Yeah.
Again, is it prostitution?
But then it's every parent's
worst nightmare
or story that they tell their children of don't have sex.
Don't have sex. You know, she wanted to get the beauty. Her parents wouldn't let her. She's like, fine, I'm 18. I'm going to do what I want. She does do what she wants. She does it. She loses her V card. And then she gets home. I was just out, Mom. Leave me alone. Midnight hits. Starts changing. Doing all the crunchy backflip arches that they usually do. And she's like, yes. It's finally happening. Mom gets a call from school because Ella never went to school.
She was getting beautied all day.
She was getting beautied all day. She never saw her leave the house. So she runs back up into the stairs. She sees there's like a trail of goo. Oh, okay, the change. The beauty glue.
Her snail trail.
Her snail trail. She's looking for her. Ella, where are you? She opens up the closet. And Ella is just this grotesque, greasy, like, meat sack. There is no definition of body, head, arms are coming out of wherever, teeth are shifting down. There's one eye up, one eye down.
She looked like Meatball from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, she did. She did look like Meatball from Aqua Teen. And I was getting ready, and I just wrote the last note. Bella's transformation is terrifying. Kill me. Because I figured this would be better than finding the actual picture and spoiling it.
My question, like, why did it go wrong for her? But then hearing that it's going wrong for many other people.
Yeah.
Like, takes a turn, and now the whole world is against him, and they're like, this is bad.
And so there's been another plot line with Byron and his children. To get his kid that overdosed out of the hospital, he gave the beauty to his own fucking kids.
Did he give it to them willingly, or did he trick them into it? I can't remember.
The one, I think, had no say because he was like the one that had the overdose and was incapacitated.
Okay.
But the other one just wanted basically to look good, I think.
Okay.
Because he's ashamed of his children, which is great. He's made his children beautiful. One of them turns to be black. I guess and to explain it, he's like, oh, there's a quarter Niger or a 1/14 Nigerian in your DNA. Isn't it beautiful how it manifests sometimes? And you're like, okay.
Yeah, that was weird. And then the kids decide, you know what? We love being beautied. We should beautied our mother. And
I just have so many feelings about this one because I love this character. And she has this beautiful speech about like what getting older and valuing what beauty is.
After what happens, she gets some tea and all of a sudden they're like, don't we just wait, Mom? And then she's like, what? I've been beautified. What is this?
Yeah, the kids like tricked her into it. And she was
they drugged her. They were like, hey, Mom, have some tea. We made you tea. And
they injected her while they were like, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So they tricked her, and they were like, Dad will love this. And, oh, my God. What?
She gives this speech.
She gives this beautiful...
Because he's like, don't you love me? Don't you love it, wife? You are beautiful now. You are a sculpture. Look at us. We are like Adonis and the other person.
Aphrodite, yeah. Like, and she goes off and does this whole speech about antiques and gives this analogy about antiques, and what makes them so valuable is their age. If you don't let anything age, it can never become an antique. And that's where their value is. And it's really a great analogy to, age and aging, and that there's still worth in people who are getting older, and also worth in people who aren't as beautiful, because she talks about how every scar she's earned, every calorie she's eaten, she had being young and kind of a socialite. She had always been beautiful and had to always be beautiful. And she had the mental capacity and the mindset of all of this is frivolous and meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to be myself. I'm not going to have any plastic surgery done. There's beauty in nature, and there's beauty in aging. And she said, I was a work of art, and you took it away from me. She breaks her glass and slits her own throat. And I loved her character, and I think I would have felt the same way if that happened to me.
It was
honestly.
Very Shakespearean.
Very Shakespearean.
Because she throws it down, she goes, I was a goddamn work of art, and you took that from me.
Isabella, like this whole scene, and I know it's not Isabella, I keep saying Isabella Rossellini, but she's changed at this point, but like, this is something where, like, this is actually, it felt like good writing, because it felt like the words and what was written for her, for this other actress, and this other actress was also, I felt, portraying Isabella Rossellini's character the same way. Why couldn't Ashton Kutcher and D'Onofrio get on the same page about this?
I was very confused. It felt like different writing from the cop's point of view and Vincent D'Onofrio's family's point of view, because it was so well written, those scenes. Hi, buddy.
We have a cat now. This criticism about it feeling like it was two different writers, let me tell you, this isn't something that's new to Ryan Murphy Productions. This was the same criticism that I had when he did Glee. It felt like at one point plot lines were like not included in other episodes, even though we left the last episode on a cliffhanger with this character. Now we're talking about a completely different character this whole episode and what they're going through, but we still don't know what the resolution was.
So
before
she is no longer a character. And because the beauty is now gone crazy, there's a board meeting, and his son comes in, and he's like, Dad, I'm taking the company from you. And he goes, you can't take the company from me. I own it. And we're going to give the beauty free to everyone who had a bad transformation. The boosters will be free.
Yeah.
Because it should be a choice that you had the beauty. And it's terrible this happened. Like,
your mother didn't have this choice.
And I'm like, he didn't give a choice to anybody.
Yeah. Again, like, if I have enough money, do as I say, not as I do.
It was just very upsetting that he gave it to his kids, and the kids who were like, hey, I hated that it was forced upon me. I'm going to force it on my mom.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's bad, you forced it on her.
Yeah, and then he's like
Dad, you
mad.
Did it to me.
He's like going to throw his kids out the window because they did the same thing.
It's like when I did something wrong and my dad beat me.
Well, I think this thing with Franny obviously hit home with him. And honestly, as long as it gave him some ethics and morality, compassion even, good. Yeah, I mean, they specifically mention Ella. Like, that was a horrific thing. Good God, give that poor girl everything. Please fix her, if at all possible. Like, we were watching TV and you were laying down and you were just like, did we watch like a scary movie where there was like a girl in a closet? And I was like, yeah, it's the beauty. And you were like, oh yeah. So
but like
this was pure.
No one gets fixed.
Yeah.
So like,
well, and we don't even see the resolution of Cooper.
That's what I mean. He's stuck as Jeffrey Epstein's favorite boy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and this is where we end the season.
And the comic starts 2 years after this. And it starts out differently because Cooper doesn't want the beauty. He likes that he doesn't have it. And there's the people who have it and don't have it. And his partner has it. And she kind of wanted it, but now people are exploding. And so now they're investigating it.
Yeah.
So as a cop, he's like, man, this isn't good. We're going to find out who it is. And then all of a sudden, like, he gets injected while on the case. Mm-hmm. And he wakes up the next morning. He's like, fuck, I was injected. And that's kind of what it is. And it's just a little bit different because, like I said, it starts 2 years later. So you could really take any detective and place it in here, and the beauty kind of works. So if there's not a second season, you kind of can just jump into the book and read it. And that's why I didn't have your answers to your question, because it kind of takes place right after this. Where after everyone knows it's a sexually transmitted diseases, and everyone's very honest with each other about like, hey, I have the beauty. And then there's like people who are like, no, you don't get the beauty. You're ugly, ugly girl. And you're like, but I want it, please. And no one will give it to you. You're a beautiful boy, though. But my question is, what does make beauty?
What does make beauty?
Yeah, because...
What makes something beautiful?
Yeah.
Or someone beautiful?
I wonder, like, there's things about you that I absolutely love. And I think if you, like, I love your eyes. And what if your eyes changed and they were different eye colors? And... you know, just like who you are, it changes. And I can't really speak to it because they made a reference to the Wegovy and the Ozempic.
Yeah, there was a lot of Ozempic mentions.
Comparisons, which as someone who's done the weight loss surgery, I don't regret it. Yeah. Do I have a lot of health problems because of it now? Yeah. But, you know, I can fit in seats. I can do things. But at the same time, what is it going to cost in the long run? And I guess that's really where I'm going to find out. Like, you know, not having a liver, not, you know.
Or a gallbladder, or,
you know,
be able to take on nutrients normally.
Absorb, taking care of kitty cats. So, but that's my question is, when you look at yourself and you're like, I don't like this about me. I don't like my legs. And you're like, I love your legs. And personally, I would change my legs. But you said you like my legs. So like, where does, like, if I change myself, am I changing myself of my own view of what I want to be? Or what...
how other
perceive you. Because if we go with that line of thought, when Claire gets transformed, it's how she wants people to perceive her. Mm-hmm. When this is the only thing I can figure out that makes sense. When Quicksilver gets beautied, in his mind is he's just like, man, I'm a little boy. It would be nice to redo life again and do all this. And so he thought of himself as a young, like, at puberty again.
But I think the big thing is he decided to get it sexually, whereas Clara got it, the injection.
But I'm just saying, the way it mutates, does it do it based on your brain?
I think that's a really good question.
Because look at what's his name? The assassin's friend.
Jeremy.
Look at Jeremy. Jeremy wanted to be a model. He wanted the abs most of all. Like, there were certain features that he was like, yes, my chin. Like, he was really obsessed about his chin, and his chin looked great now.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's more of a brain thing. And that's why Cooper gets, I remember his name, Cooper.
Yeah.
Quicksilver gets transformed into a kid because his brain went there. But I don't know. I just think when you're doing a TV show and Jeffrey Epstein is all over the news, you shouldn't do situations where a little boy isn't involved with coitus activities. It just seems weird.
Well, at the time of the coitus
and then
activity, he was a man.
And then there's a whole high school situations where it felt weird that these girls were in high school going, I'm hot now. And I'm like, I don't want to judge if you're hot or not. You're in high school. Why are we objectifying these women in school? And I understand it, but like,
I think it was more about the setting, and that storyline was like shook me to my core because like obviously I've been
wrong, like
for it to go wrong, and then to like we were both bullied in high school, occasionally about our size. Like this is doing something to an extreme to get a overall positive, better result. Yes.
Amy, would teenager you take, and that's also the question,
yes.
Is teenagers don't think, they're very dumb. So I guess showing that was good. But as a teenager, would you have taken it?
Probably, but like, because when you're young, you don't think about consequences.
Well, there were no consequences. We didn't know people were blowing up.
Exactly. We didn't know people were blowing up. We didn't know what could happen, what else could go wrong that we don't know about yet. And that really showed the teenager mindset of like, whatever, I know everything.
How many doctor procedures have I had done in the last couple of years? Where I've signed the paper that says you understand the risks that come with this surgery may involve missing my leg, becoming mute, becoming paralyzed,
death.
Losing nerve endings, death. Sign paper.
Yep.
Like, how many people really listen to...
Do you read the terms and conditions?
Yeah,
we haven't gotten to that South Park episode yet.
The only thing I think about with the terms and conditions is, do we read it? And the only time we've ever questioned this is when COVID came.
Yep.
That's the only time I can remember in our history where we decided that like we weren't going to listen to science. We were going to just do our own thing and figure things out. Like, it became the Wild West.
Just
and
inject Clorox up your asshole.
And that's what it feels like with this beauty is it's...
Oh, yeah, it definitely took elements of that. You felt that there was, like, science is dumb, like...
Yeah, like, we're going to look beautiful. And so I think teenager me would not, because I feel teenager me was very Christian. So teenager me would be like, God made me this way. Changing it was bad. Also, I couldn't have coitus.
You could have gotten the injection. As we talked about this morning about how...
Y'all, listen to this. This lady thinks I can get injections. When I had to go get the COVID shot back...
You tried walking out.
I was like, nope. And I found an exit door, which is the storage.
Oh, yeah. No, that was like the alarm will sound if you exit out this door. And this asshole is like, I'm going to leave through that door.
I was like, I'm going to take it.
Forgetting he has a brain injury. And as soon as the alarms start to go off, he's going to be essentially paralyzed.
But I was like, I'm going to get out of here. And I went to do a quick turn and you grabbed me. And then every time, like I had a needle injections.
Every time.
I had
Shots,
a
blood
panic
work.
attack. The nurses had to like put ice bags all over me. I saw when they took off my cast. Now I'm in a boot again. When they took off my cast after surgery, like I
You
saw
could-
they had a needle, and I started freaking out so much I had another panic attack and had to get the ices on. And turns out they weren't even going to use that needle. That needle was just like for something else,
Yeah.
for like pumping up tires or something. I don't know. But like she was, I don't know what she was using down there, but she was using tools to get my stitches out.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Scissors.
It scares me.
So just some housekeeping on the rest of the beauty. There's no work yet on a season 2, which I'm a little concerned about. Not hearing like it's ended and there's still been no word.
Like I didn't really hear a lot of buzz about it after the first couple of episodes.
Yeah, the first couple of episodes, and they did like some back-to-back like double episode premieres on FX. So like they've released everything beginning of March.
So I don't know now that it's in the streaming platform, all the episodes, is it going to get binged? Because it's only
Only
short.
11 episodes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a weekend binge. People can do that in a weekend now.
Yeah.
So will it pick up steam and get good?
I hope so.
Get good. I mean, pick up steam and get a second season?
Get a second season. I mean, we like we said, there's spoilers. We don't know if Cooper returns to his adult size version instead of his child size version. Like,
there's so many questions we need answers that cannot be left unanswered.
Yeah, so I don't know.
This is almost as bad as My Name is Earl's finale.
Okay, I'll take your word on it. One other thing that I just cannot be denied about this, I think this show had an incredible score throughout. So this was one thing I did a little Googling on, and Mac Quayle did the score for this show. Oh, I just loved it. To me, it definitely had that essence of a 1950s sci-fi horror film. It just really incorporated that beautifully through the whole series. And like even now, just thinking about like the intro music, I'm like, oh yeah. But if you have not seen The Beauty, please give it a chance. I think it was really good. I would like to see more of this. I am for this comic book adaptation. I think this was a good pairing of producers and visions with good source material.
I would like it to be a little bit tighter. I would like to learn a little bit more. I want the Cooper stuff fixed. I would like, maybe college people. That'd be cool. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think it was not the greatest, but I would say it's better than most things on.
What's your letter score for it?
I would give it a B-.
All right. Yeah, I'd say B+. I really liked it. I think this is some of Kutcher's.
Oh, this is Kutcher. This is
I think Kutcher was really great. Evan Peters, I feel, was really great in this.
Oh, Evan Peters is great.
So great.
Peters.
Evan Peters is great in everything. And Isabella Rossellini, love her in everything. And I loved this character for her. And I'm so glad that she was able to be in something like this and able to get paid to call Ashton Kutcher an asshole. So with that, I think we'll leave it up here unless Robin has anything else to say.
Yeah, we'll wrap everything up. Robin?
He wants a treat. He wants treats.
He wants down. He's done. I guess we're done.
He's done. He's
all right.
Noping on out, and so are we. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.